Alhamdulillah, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. May peace and blessings be upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Have you ever noticed the silence of the world before the sun rises? The streets are empty, the air is crisp, and yet there is a profound presence in the stillness, that sacred pause between the night and the dawn. That is when the heavens lean closer to the earth. That is when the angels listen. That is when your soul is most awake to the whispers of Allah, when your heart, unburdened by the weight of the day, can speak freely. Imagine just for a moment stepping into this sacred time, alone with your Creator. No distractions, no obligations, no expectations, just you and Him. And as the light of Fajr begins to stretch across the horizon, consider this. Every breath you take, every heartbeat, every beat of your restless thoughts is an invitation to awaken from the sleep of heedlessness, to shake off the chains of distractions, and to remember what truly matters. How often do we go through our days carrying our worries, our anxieties, our fears of the future, and our regrets of the past, without realizing that in this very moment right now, Allah is calling you to intimacy, to mercy, to renewal? Do you hear it? The whisper in your heart, soft yet insistent, turn to me, for I am closer to you than your jugular vein. And yet, how easily we ignore this invitation. How quickly we allow the world to pull us back into sleep, back into the rush of obligations that seem urgent but are often trivial. But this moment after Fajr in Ramadan is sacred. It is a moment where time itself bends, where mercy flows in abundance, and where every action, every word, every thought can be transformed into a seed of eternal reward. Imagine the power of beginning your day in complete surrender. Not surrender that is born of defeat, but surrender born of love, born of recognition that Allah's wisdom is beyond your understanding, yet His mercy is closer than your skin. How would your day change if you began it by letting go? Letting go of your attachment to outcomes, letting go of the anxiety over what you cannot control, letting go of the need to prove yourself to the world. What if your first act after Fajr was to place your entire heart, your entire soul, your entire day in Allah's hands? In those moments, you are not just performing a ritual, you are engaging in a profound spiritual conversation. And conversations with Allah are unlike any other. They are intimate, they are transformative. They are not measured by how long you speak or by the eloquence of your words, but by the sincerity of your heart. Even a single whisper uttered in humility and hope can move the heavens. Think about this. The angels are writing your deeds. The sun itself is witnessing your intentions. And in that silent, sacred time after Fajr, you have the unique opportunity to shape not only your day, but your destiny. You have the opportunity to plant seeds of faith, gratitude, and patience that will bear fruit far beyond what you can see. But these seeds require the soil of sincerity, watered by awareness, nurtured by detachment, and rooted in love for Allah alone. How often do we make dua in a hurried, distracted manner, forgetting that our supplication is not just a list of requests, but a dialogue of the heart? How often do we ask, yet cling tightly to our own imagined outcomes, failing to trust that Allah knows what is best for us, that His wisdom surpasses our vision, that His mercy encompasses all things? In these quiet, precious hours after Fajr, you are invited to recalibrate, to purify your intention, to surrender your expectations, and to ask not only for what you desire, but for what your heart truly needs in light of divine wisdom. And there is a beauty in detachment, a freedom in releasing your grip on results. Because when you detach from outcomes, when you trust Allah fully, your worship becomes lighter, your heart becomes softer, your soul becomes open to receiving what is greater than what you imagined. You begin to see that your happiness, your contentment, your peace are not tied to what the world gives you, but to the closeness of your heart to your Creator. Pause for a moment. Feel your heartbeat. Feel the stillness around you. This is Ramadan, a month unlike any other. Every moment after Fajr carries a weight of mercy. Every thought can be redirected toward remembrance. And every act, no matter how small, if performed with sincerity and awareness, can be elevated to a level that changes not only your day, but your eternal path. It begins with awareness. Awareness that your heart matters more than your actions, that your intention shapes your deeds, that your surrender shapes your life. Awareness that Allah is listening, not only to your words, but to your silences, your sighs, your tears, your deepest longings. Awareness that nothing in this world can compare to the intimacy of this connection. Nothing in this life can replace these moments when your soul speaks and Allah responds. And so as you stand after Fajr, as you sit in stillness, as you breathe in the early morning air, ask yourself, am I here just to move my body, or am I here to awaken my heart? Am I here just to open myself fully to the mercy and guidance of Allah? Because what you do in these moments sets the tone for the rest of your day. How you center your soul, how you focus your intention, how you cultivate trust and detachment. This is not just preparation for the day, this is preparation for your eternal self. There is something profoundly sacred about the moments after Fajr, when the world is still wrapped in its quiet slumber and the air feels heavier with serenity. It is in these moments that your heart speaks most clearly, and yet so often we allow our actions to become mere habits, rituals we perform mechanically, thinking that movement alone will bring us closer to Allah. But true spiritual awakening does not come from repetition. It comes from intention, from the heart being fully present, fully aware, fully surrendered. Ask yourself, when you bow in prayer, when you lift your hands in dua, are you simply going through the motions, or is your heart trembling with the awareness of the one who watches, who knows, who is infinitely near? After Fajr, the soul is most receptive, untouched by the demands and distractions that will flood the day. This is your opportunity to awaken from the sleep, not just of your body, but of your heart. To sit quietly and let the silence remind you of Allah's mercy, of His closeness, of His presence in every beat of your heart. It is here that worship becomes alive, when every breath is a conversation with Him, every whisper a surrender of the self, every thought a reflection of gratitude and humility. Do not rush to fill these precious moments with obligations or distractions. Do not allow your mind to wander to yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's anxieties. Let your focus be on the one who gave you this morning, who gave you this chance, who gave you life itself. Let the act of worship after Fajr not be about proving devotion, but about experiencing it, feeling it, letting it seep into your bones, shaping the way you carry yourself through the day. This is the essence of sincerity. When your actions are fueled by a heart, hat is awake, not by habit, not by expectation, but by a genuine longing to be near Allah. When the world is still wrapped in silence after Fajr, there is a subtle invitation to turn inward, to notice the countless blessings that surround you. Often, we wake and rush through our days, distracted by obligations, worries, and fleeting desires, forgetting the simplest truth. Every breath, every heartbeat, every moment is a gift from Allah. In these early hours before the clamor of life begins, your heart can truly pause and recognize the mercy and generosity that has been extended to you countless times, often unnoticed. Gratitude in these moments is not just a feeling, it is a spiritual practice that opens the heart, sharpens awareness, and aligns your soul with the one who is all-knowing. Reflecting on blessings does not require grand gestures. It is in the quiet awareness that your eyes open, that you can feel the warmth of life, the comfort of health, the simplicity of sustenance, and the unseen protections that have carried you through days of difficulty. When you consciously acknowledge these gifts, your soul begins to rise above the constant craving for what is lacking and finds peace in what is already abundant. Gratitude after Fajr is a way to prepare your spirit to face the day with clarity, humility, and serenity. And when you speak to Allah in these quiet moments, let your words carry both thankfulness and awe. Let your heart tremble with recognition that nothing is owed to you, yet everything has been given. Let your dua flow from this space of deep acknowledgement, not as a transactional plea, but as a dialogue with the one whose mercy has enveloped you since before you existed. Gratitude transforms the heart, it softens hardness, removes arrogance, and plants the seeds of contentment and reliance on Allah. This practice, simple yet profound, creates a foundation for every act of worship, every intention, and every interaction that follows throughout the day. The moments after Fajr carry a unique opportunity to turn to Allah with complete sincerity before the noise and distractions of the day pull your attention elsewhere. This is the time to ask for guidance, mercy, and strength, not out of desperation, but from a deep recognition that every success, every blessing, and every ability comes from Him alone. It is easy to make dua casually, repeating words without feeling, expecting immediate results, or judging your prayers by how quickly they are answered. But the essence of supplication is not in the outcome. It is in the act of surrender, in the humility of turning to your Creator, knowing that He alone holds what is best for you. In these early hours, your heart is most open, your mind most receptive, and your soul most honest. Approach Allah with a soft, sincere heart, letting your words flow from a place of need, hope, and trust rather than impatience or fear. Ask for what you desire, yes, but also ask for what you cannot see. The guidance to recognize your true needs, the strength to overcome trials, and the wisdom to accept what He decrees. Let your dua become a quiet conversation where you do not demand, but you present your heart, your fears, your hopes, and your love, trusting that Allah hears, knows, and responds in ways beyond your understanding. Detach from the idea that your prayers must manifest instantly or in the form you expect. True reliance is found when the heart surrenders the outcome entirely to Allah, knowing that what He gives is perfect, even if it differs from your imagination. The post-Fajr moments offer a spiritual clarity, a calmness that allows you to pray with full awareness, with your heart present, and with a trust that your Lord is closer than you think, listening to every way. Hisper, understanding every unspoken word, and answering in the wisdom of His infinite knowledge. In the stillness after Fajr, there is a rare chance to look inward with honesty, to examine the corners of your heart that often go unnoticed during the busyness of the day. Reflection in these quiet moments is not about self-criticism or guilt, but about understanding your intentions, recognizing your weaknesses, and acknowledging the moments when you fell short. It is a gentle yet powerful way to purify the soul, to bring light to what is hidden, to cleanse what weighs you down, and to realign yourself with the purpose for which you were created. Consider the weight of your thoughts, the patterns of your actions, and the subtle inclinations of your heart. Are your intentions aligned with what pleases Allah, or are they often swayed by pride, fear, or desire for recognition? Reflection after Fajr allows you to confront these truths in a safe, quiet space before the world's noise attempts to drown them out. It is in these early hours that your heart can sincerely repent, seek forgiveness, and renew its commitment to strive for better, without distraction or pretense. This time is also an opportunity to acknowledge your strengths, the blessings Allah has granted, and the resilience He has placed within you. Purification is not only about removing what is harmful, but also about nurturing what is good, allowing the soul to expand toward mercy, patience, and sincerity. By dedicating a few moments after Fajr to reflection, you create a spiritual foundation that influences every decision, every intention, and every action throughout the day. Your inner awareness sharpens, your connection with Allah deepens, and your heart becomes more attuned to His guidance, ready to carry His light into every interaction and every choice that follows. There is a subtle but profound lesson in learning to detach from worldly validation, especially during the sacred hours after Fajr. Many of us unconsciously shape our worship and our intentions around what others might see, praise, or approve of. We measure our worth by recognition, admiration, or imagined reward, forgetting that true devotion is never about anyone other than Allah. The quiet of the early morning offers a unique opportunity to strip away these distractions, to confront the heart honestly, and to surrender completely to Him alone. When you perform your prayers, recite the Quran, or make dua in these moments, ask yourself, am I seeking to please Allah, or am I seeking reassurance from the world? Detaching from the desire for validation allows your worship to become a pure expression of love, humility, and surrender. It transforms every action into a spiritual conversation, a dialogue that does not depend on applause or acknowledgement, but on the simple awareness that Allah is present, seeing, and infinitely merciful. This detachment does not mean ignoring the world or neglecting responsibilities. Rather, it is a shift in focus. It is the understanding that your value, your effort, and your sincerity are measured not by human eyes, but by the one who knows the hidden depths of your heart. The early hours after Fajr are a reminder that worship, reflection, and gratitude are intimate and personal acts meant to nurture the soul and strengthen the connection with Allah. In embracing this mindset, your heart becomes lighter, your intentions clearer, and your reliance on Allah deeper, freeing you from the subtle chains of worldly expectation and allowing every act of devotion to rise from sincerity alone. There is a profound intimacy in opening the Quran after Fajr, a stillness that allows the words to touch the heart in ways the noise of the day rarely permits. This is not recitation for routine or obligation, but a conversation with Allah Himself, where every verse becomes a mirror reflecting your soul, your struggles, your hopes, and your need for guidance. In these moments, the Quran does not simply inform, it transforms. It speaks to the hidden places within you, offering clarity where confusion lingers, comfort where anxiety resides, and direction where uncertainty clouds your path. Reading after Fajr is powerful because the heart is uncluttered, receptive, and awake to truth. It is when the mind is quiet and the distractions of the world have not yet taken hold that the words of Allah can sink deeply, planting seeds of reflection, patience, and understanding. Each verse is a gentle reminder that you are never alone, that guidance is always available, and that the path of righteousness is illuminated for those who seek it sincerely. But the true power lies not in speed or volume, but in presence and awareness. Pause over the meanings, let the words linger, and allow your heart to engage with what you read. Ask yourself, how does this verse speak to my life? What is Allah teaching me today through this guidance? When recitation becomes reflection, it becomes nourishment, feeding the soul, strengthening the spirit, and equipping you with clarity and resilience to face the challenges of the day. In these sacred moments after Fajr, the Quran is more than a ritual. It is a lifeline. It reconnects the heart to its purpose, reminds the soul of its origin, and aligns every thought, intention, and action with the wisdom of Allah. The early morning recitation shapes not just your day, but the essence of your character, your patience, and your relationship with your Creator. The peace and clarity that follow Fajr are fragile gifts, yet they have the power to shape your entire day if you learn to carry them with intention. When the world is still, quiet, your mind is free from distractions, and your heart is open to sincerity, this is the moment to anchor yourself in mindfulness, to hold on to the serenity that surrounds you, and to let it permeate every thought, every action, and every interaction that follows. How often do we begin our day in haste, letting stress, worry, or frustration dictate our emotions? The early morning reminds us that we have a choice to let the calm of these sacred hours guide us, rather than allowing the chaos of the world to pull us into its current. Carrying this morning's peace is not simply a mental exercise, it is a spiritual discipline. It begins with awareness, with a conscious decision to let the clarity of Fajr influence your intentions. Let every action, no matter how small, reflect the purity and focus of your heart in these early hours. When you speak, speak with kindness. When you act, act with sincerity. When you face challenges, face them with patience. The energy of the morning can transform mundane routines into acts of worship, ordinary tasks into moments of mindfulness, and fleeting thoughts into reminders of Allah's presence. By holding on to the tranquility of these hours, you create a rhythm for your day that is guided by the heart rather than the chaos of circumstance. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to reflect the calmness you have embraced, each decision a reflection of the awareness you nurtured after Fajr. The essence of this practice is simple yet profound. The moments after Fajr are not just a beginning of a day, they are a template for living with purpose, clarity, and devotion, shaping not only your hours, but the very state of your soul. If you take nothing else from these moments after Fajr, let it be this: the early hours are not simply a passage of time. They are a gift, a sacred doorway to transformation. What you choose to do with them determines the state of your heart, the clarity of your mind, and the depth of your connection with Allah. Do not let them slip by in distraction, in habit, or in half-hearted effort. Stand consciously in His presence. Allow your heart to awaken fully and surrender to the one who knows what is hidden, what is heavy, and what is truly needed. Your devotion is not measured by the applause of the world, nor by the speed with which your dua is answered. It is measured by the sincerity of your heart, the presence of your soul, and the trust you place entirely in Allah's wisdom. The way you begin your morning after Fajr, in the stillness of His mercy, sets the tone for everything that follows. Let your worship be alive, your gratitude genuine, and your intentions free from worldly expectation. Every day of Ramadan is an opportunity to rise, not just physically, but spiritually, to purify, to reflect, to detach, to trust, and to anchor yourself in the divine guidance that surrounds you. If you embrace these moments with awareness, the impact will ripple through your entire life, transforming ordinary routines into sacred practices, fleeting thoughts into acts of devotion, and a quiet morning into a lifetime of closeness to Allah. Let your mornings become a testimony of sincerity, a sanctuary for your soul, and a reflection of your love for your Creator. For in these moments, when the world is still, you have the power to shape your heart, your day, and ultimately your destiny.